All right. Ka'ala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson today. Double honor to the apostles and elders in Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Shalom to you, hopeful elects. Let's get straight into it, man. Fair use, copyright disclaimer under section 107. All right, this is for educational purposes, criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. All right, fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So we're gonna go ahead and play this video real quick.
Something they're not going to tell you on American media, and the American government definitely isn't going to tell you about it. By July 4th, the United States will be out of gasoline. The ships, the tankers in the Gulf of Mexico are taking the oil out of our strategic oil reserve. America cannot use its own oil. It has to sell the oil that is pumped out of our ground so that the American economy doesn't crash. If we used our own oil in America, our economy would crash almost immediately. So come July 4th, there will not be any gasoline. That's the projected time for the United States to run out. This is a real fact. This came from the Energy Secretary of Canada. He did an analysis on all of the gas levels around the globe. Europe is scheduled to run out by the end of this month. America is scheduled to run out July 4th. If you want to see the video, go to Prepper News with.
Okay, so this man right here is talking about a Canadian, what he said?
This came from the Energy Secretary.
The Energy Secretary of Canada, okay? He's talking about the Energy Secretary of Canada claims that by July 4th, all right, America's gonna run out of fuel, it's gonna run out of oil, it's gonna run out of gas, okay? And I dig deep into this proclaim, I dig deep into this statement that this man right here brought out. And it turns out that the Energy Secretary of Canada, Tim Hoskin, okay, Tim Hoskin, all right, he actually said nothing about, not that I could find any videos or articles about him stating that, but what I did find was that he was gonna help his allies with these resources such as oil, energy, and so on and so forth. As you can see in this article, it says Tim Hoskin, Minister of Energy and Natural Resources from Canada. All right, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the member of her strong support of the mining sector. All right, our government showed that Canada is leading our allies to secure critical mineral supply chains. Okay, so that lets you know that Canada is in fact going to provide for their allies, and one of their allies is of course the U.S. You know what I'm saying? This is what Tim Hoskin is gonna do. Okay. Now, like I said, I didn't find any articles or any videos of Tim Hoskin saying that on July 4th, there's gonna be, what do you say? There's not gonna be no fuel. There's not gonna be no oil for America, right? But in fact, it was Jeffrey Curry, all right, Jeff Curry, okay, that stated this. And like I said, fair use. We're gonna go ahead and pull out that video real quick.
When do storage tanks run empty?
Your parts of the world, like Australia, Philippines, Thailand, you are. But the question is when and where. I still say the review, it's going to be, sometime in the month of May that you're going to end up with Europe hitting tank bottoms. And in the U.S., it's somewhere in that July 4th time period. If not sooner, by the way.
So there you go. He says by July 4th, the U.S. is gonna run out of fuel, it's gonna run out of oil, it's gonna run out of gas. And you know that with these things happening, is gonna bring forth a famine. As it states in the Bible, there will be plagues, famines, earthquakes, right? And this is the beginning of sorrows. So we're gonna bring out 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Now you guys know that recently we had a virus outbreak that's called the Hanta or the Hanta virus, right? So that's one of the beginnings of the famine and great death, all right? That's one of the plagues. That's one of the plagues right there and there. You know what I'm saying? And the famine that's going to be established here in America is going to be due to the fact that we're going to run out of oil, okay? And without oil, we can't, all right, the trucks that distribute foods and goods won't be able to do so because, you know, if we run out of oil, they won't be able to get their oil to do their job, right? And that's going to lead to a great famine. That's going to lead to great death, all right? People are going to struggle. People are going to go through these things. And that's just one of the prophecies that are mentioned in the Bible, okay? The beginning of wars, we got the U.S. and Israel going to war with Ukraine, going to war with Iran, you know what I'm saying? And all these things are mentioned in the Bible. These things are yet to come to pass, you know what I'm saying? And let's continue. And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginnings of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? Behold, famine and plague, tribulations and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Right? So these things are to come, right? And it says in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6, right? It says in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6, the man himself, Mashiach Yahweh Shah, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, right? And he says, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, right? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Why would Yahweh Shah say that? Why would Yahweh Shah say that, okay, these wars, you're going to hear about wars, you're going to hear about plagues, you're going to hear about famine, you're going to hear about all these troubles, but this does not mean the end. Why not? Right? Because ultimately, the mark of the beast has to be established. The mark of the beast has to be put into our society, put into our system. You know what I'm saying? And that mark of the beast is the RFID chip, right? It's a chip that's going to be implanted, carved in your forearm, okay? And it's going to be used for payments. You know what I'm saying? So if we go to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, it's going to quote that. Okay? It says he required everyone, small and great, right? Who is this he? All right? The he is our government officials, all right? The ruler of this world, all right? Esau, all right? Esau, all right? The so-called Caucasian man, right? And not just any Caucasian man, is going to be the one who rules this world, the one who sets out the orders, right? New World Order, okay? The president, the government, all right? Your mayor, okay? These people that have control over us, they're going to require us to take this mark of the beast. And it don't matter your status on this earth, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're in prison or free, you got to take it. And if you don't, you're going to be persecuted. So let's continue. He required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. Okay? Wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of man. His number is 666. Okay? And we got false prophets, we got false teachers, okay, from these so-called camps called TGC, all right, the Genesis Church, okay? We got the Genesis, we got ISUPK, we got the IUIC, all these other camps that push out false narrative, false doctrines, and tell you that the mark of the beast, okay, is 666 Edomites, 666 Caucasian people. That is false. That is false. Okay, because if you would know, right, in the Bible it says the meaning behind mark is charagma. Okay, and we're gonna go into that right now. So as you see, Strong's G 5480, right? Charagma.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Right? Charagma. Charagma, some people say haragma, other people say charagma. But to bring out the point, all right, the definition is A, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, right? So how can it be a picture of Satan? How can it be a picture of Julius Caesar or whoever these people try to manipulate our people of the children of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and try to say that the mark of the beast is an image of Satan or the image of a white girl or that it's going to be 666. No, it clearly states here that it's a mark stamped on your forehead or on the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which is the beast system, right? Those who come against the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The mark branded upon horses, things carved into, right? It's things carved into, sculpture, graven work, right? And if we look at a picture real quick, this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look just like this. It's a chip, all right, and it's gonna be implanted in your forearm, you know, wherever they want to, wherever they could place it in, wherever they could jab you in and get you in control into the system. That's what they're gonna do, all right. And there's people out there that already got this chip. All right, we're gonna go real quick and pull up this video from Yarmaya, servant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Let's look into a video real quick of this man that real quick, if I could find it. He had it pinned up, but I don't know what happened. I guess he took it out. I should have saved it, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Salakia. He posts too many videos. If I don't find it, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is the truth. This is what's going on. This is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't believe, you're going to be through. You're going to be destroyed with Babylon and these heathens in these 2/3, right? All right, I'm taking too much time. If I don't find it, we're just gonna move on. Let me see if he has it in his other page. No. He had it pinned up. What happened to it? Anyways, let's continue with the video. As you can see, this is the chip. This is what's going to be implanted on your forearm, on your forehead. All right, according to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. Right? Okay, let's show another video real quick.
You think the United States...
Hold on, let's show this one right
King
here.
of the United Kingdom has officially announced the rollout of digital ID.
My ministers will also
proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
The King of the Commonwealth himself is now backing the digital identification system that many warned was coming for years. And if it's happening in the UK, it's only a matter of time before it comes to Australia, Canada, and the rest of the Commonwealth nations. This is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is real. This is happening right now. Digital ID, AI surveillance, face tracking cameras, mass data collection, 4K monitoring systems. The dystopian future people laughed about is now being built in front of our very eyes. Governments around the world are moving towards a system where your identity, movement, finances, and online access become increasingly centralized and monitored. This is massive news. Share this video far and wide. People need to understand what it's...
Right, so I'm telling you, like, this is gonna happen on all four corners of the earth. All four corners of the earth. Why? Because it's the new world order. All right, all nations will team up and gather together and come against, all right, us. Come against us, the children of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and not just us, but every nation, every nation. All right, this is what's gonna be mandatory. This is gonna be mandated. All right, and it's already happening in the other countries, okay? And people are already getting this chip, and people are going against it too. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you go against it, you're gonna be persecuted, right? You're gonna get your head chopped off. You're gonna receive the guillotine, right? Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou will understand that the Most High of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end. The end is manifest, okay? So like it says here in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, measure that time diligently. The Most High said that unto us. The Most High spoke that unto the prophets, his elects, to share that with us and preach it unto the gospel, preach it unto his people. All right, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who make up the 12 tribes of Israel to turn back and serve the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Why? Because we are in a time of plagues, of famines, and wars. We are in a time where time is ticking, time is running out. All right, and the devil has a short time, so all these things have to come to pass, right? They see UFOs, they see all these things, these signs and wonders, all right, and they know that they have a short time, right? It's very important to measure that time diligently. That way we can know, all right, the prophecies that are being, that way we can understand spiritually what's going on. Right? So it says here in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, okay? It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time, right? The devil knows that he has a short time, so that's why all these things are happening so fast, so quick. You know what I'm saying? And when the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua directs his only begotten son, Yahushua, right, to come down here with the sword and smite you 2/3 and you heathens, nothing's gonna stop him. Nothing gonna stop him. All right,
Do you think the United States was going to avoid nuclear war during World War III? You are out of your mind, because President Putin just said Russia is going to deploy the world's most powerful nuclear missile this year. And for the people that think the president of Russia is bluffing, it was confirmed today by Grok itself that he's not bluffing. Putin announced today that Russia will put the RS-28 Satan II ICBM on combat duty by the end of 20.
Look, I mean, they even named their missiles, all right, their nuclears, as Satan. That should tell you that these people are not dealing with the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're dealing with the devil. They're going by the plan of these evil schemes. All right, when it comes to war, it ain't no beautiful sunshine and rainbows, okay? It's destruction. is destruction, is the devil. And these things are going to come to pass here on earth in America, okay? And, you know, Russia ain't playing no games, and so isn't, and definitely not China.
26. So if I were you and I lived in the United States, I would be preparing right now before it is too late.
You see? So all these things are rumors of wars, you know what I'm saying? Hey, as it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 16, man, these are signs. These are signs. Okay? 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecies which I will put in thy mouth. Right? So the Most High is going to put the prophecies into his people that come out on the highways and hedges that pushes out the truth, like GMS, right? And he's going to say this unto them, which I will put in thy mouth, says the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, right? Fear not the imagination against thee. All right, as it says in Psalms chapter 37, fret not, right? Let not in the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, right? So don't worry about, the Most High is telling us, he's stating unto us, man, don't worry about what's going on. If you fear me, and have faith in me, that I will save you through these hard times and tribulations, right? Through these perilous times, you're gonna be good. But for the unfaithful ones, they're gonna be unfaithful and they're gonna die unfaithfully. Behold, says the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Right? So wickedness has been going on for years after years after years after years, for generations after generation. And it's gonna come to a point where the Most High is gonna stop all this wickedness. All right. And their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right? Therefore, says the Lord. Okay, so y'all should know that for Esau is the beginning and Jacob is the end that followeth. All right, because Esau had his time already ruling this world and bringing on his wickedness, right? And Jacob's gonna come back and bring reestablishment, okay, of righteousness on the world, as the Most High wants, as the Most High promised, as the Most High wanted it to be, right? Esau is the beginning, right? 2nd Esdras chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So when all hell breaks loose, everybody's going to be like, it's the end of the world. That's Esau for you. But Jacob going to remain faithful and have faith in the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because he knows, right? We know the elects, the hopeful elects. We know that we're going to come and we're going to serve. We're going to come and we're going to serve. We're going to bring rulership and righteousness back onto earth, right? Because we are the beginning of it that followeth. Right? Revelation chapter 16. And what was it? What verse? 12 and verse 16. Oh yeah. So then the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great Euphrates river, and it dried up so that the kings from the east could march their armies towards the west. Right? The kings of the east. Who are the kings of the east? All right, people in Asia, people in Africa, in Russia, all right, all these other nations, the Europeans, they on the east and we on the west side. That's why it's called the Wild Wild West, right? Towards the east without hindrances. And I saw 3 evil spirits that looked like frogs leap from the mouth of the dragons, the beasts, and the false prophets. They are demonic spirits who work miracle and go out to all the rulers of the world to gather them for battle against the Lord on the great judgment day of God, Yahweh, the Almighty, right? So these are things that are going to be manifested, okay? These are things that are going to be manifested that are already planned behind stage, backstage. You know what I'm saying? Closed doors. All right, the rulers of this world are working with demonic forces, okay? And it's all established, it's all happening because they are ultimately going against the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? And this is what the red letter says in verse 15 by Yahweh Shai. It says, look, I will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Blessed are all who are watching me, who are watching for me, who keep their clothing ready so they will not have to walk around naked and ashamed, right? Blessed are those who are ready, who are girding up their loins and keeping their mind occupied in prophecies, right? The elects, the hopeful elects, right? And they walk around not naked because they know these things. But if you walked around naked, that's because you are lost. That's because you are not tapped in. You are not listening to the prophets. You are not studying. You're not praying. You're not working on your faith. You're not working on your salvation, right? And the shame, right? And the demonic spirits gather all the rulers and their armies to a place with the Hebrew name Armageddon, okay? Armageddon, okay? And these are the demonic spirits gather, it says, and the demonic spirits gather all the armies, right? All the rulers. All the rulers of what? Rulers of where? This earth, this world, right? From the four corners of the earth, right? Bricks, I'm telling you. Okay, and last verse, Isaiah chapter 35 and verse 4. And this is to the hopeful elect. Say to those with fearful hearts, be strong and do not fear, for your God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is coming to destroy your enemies. All right, who are our enemies? All right, these heathens, right? These Edomites, these Edomims. You know what I'm saying? The heathens, man. Okay, I'm talking about Ishmael, the Ishmaelites, the Amalekites. All right, every other nations that are not according to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, the Israelites. Okay, they are our enemies. Our enemies are these Edomites and these other nations that aren't the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He is coming to save you. He is coming to save us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. And when he comes, he will open the eyes of the blind and unplug the ears of the deaf. The lame will leap like a deer, and those who cannot speak will sing for joy. Springs will gush forth in the wilderness, and the streams will water the wasteland. Okay, so all these things are going to come to pass. All right, and the Most High is telling us to be strong and do not fear. Because if you put your trust in him and you fear the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and you work out your salvation day out and day in, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be good. You're going to be good. And Psalms chapter 37 and verse 7, rest in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prosper in his ways, right? The evil people who prosper. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about them or fret about their wicked schemes because of the many who bring the wicked devices to pass. Okay? Because the Most High gonna handle that. He's gonna bring vengeance, right? So that's all I want to say. Right? Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson today. Hope you've been edified, and double honors to the apostles and elders in Great Millstone, and shalom to your hopeful elect. Shalom. On to the next.